Okay, let's open up our working papers for 11-2, our work together. We have 4 transactions that we are going to work with. I'll take you through the transactions and then you'll do the second part. You'll just post. You know how to do that. Okay, so in this section, remember, we sold some merchandise to individuals or businesses and they may be returning it to us. So we're going to deal with the sales that we had. All right, so our first one is we granted credit to Keller Associates for merchandise return plus sales tax. And it says from S645, that means if we look back on sales invoice 645, we would see that that's what they owe us. When we grant this credit, we're going to fill out a credit memorandum that will give them a copy, and then we keep a copy for our source document. So the date would be June 4th. Document number is CM28, credit memorandum 28. Whoops, I skipped the account title. Okay, we're going to, when we look at this, we're going to have it affect 3 different accounts. We have sales return and allowance. We have to deal with sales tax, and then the accounts receivable. Okay, so we're going to think of the debits first. Okay, our sales return and allowance has a normal debit balance, so we're going to record that first. Okay, we are going to debit it for the total amount of the sales. Okay, they are bringing back $245 worth of merchandise. Initially, when we sold it, we charged them sales tax and we credited our sales tax. So we have to debit our sales tax for the amount returned to our customer. And the amount of sales tax that's returned is $14.70. Again, sales tax payable is a liability that we owe to the government. We are giving back some of the sales tax that we collected, so we owe less to the government. So therefore, we are debiting. And then we have to bring our account up to date, so it's accounts receivable. Oh my goodness. And then the name of our customer. Okay, accounts receivable, we are going to reduce the amount of their account for the amount of the sales and the sales tax, which is $259.70. Our second transaction. Learn that a sale on account to Ashton and Lindsay LLP was incorrectly charged to the account of Abraham Corporation. Okay, so your accounts receivable is not going to be changed, but we just have to take it out of one customer's account and put it in the other one. So initially, the account that should have been charged is this one right here. But it was put in this account. Remember, our accounts receivable has a normal debit balance, so in reality, it was debited to Abraham Corporation. So we have to credit it, theirs, to take it out of it, and we have to debit this company here and put it back in. Make sense? All right, so we have this company, Ashton and Lindsay. We are going to debit and put the $623 into their account where it should have been in the first place. And we're going to take it out of Abraham Corporation. We're going to take it out of theirs because it was wrongfully put in theirs. So we're going to credit that for, and the source document is Memorandum 61. So again, it does not affect your accounts payable account, it just affects your customers' names. Okay, the next one, granted credit to Lambert Schools for damaged merchandise. Remember, the schools, they usually don't have to pay sales tax, so we don't have to give that back to them. Okay, so the 12th, we sold it to them initially. They are returning it, so it's a sales, returns and allowances. Source document is credit memorandum 29. We are going to debit sales return allowance for $206. We are going to credit our accounts receivable to take that amount out of Lambert Schools because they return the merchandise. Oh my goodness. Oops. And we have to list the name of the customer. Keeps popping out. Sorry about that. After all that mess, that's what it looks like. So we're going to debit sales return allowance to increase the amount of sales that has been returned. And we're going to credit our accounts receivable to cancel their account for the merchandise that was returned. Remember, they are a nonprofit, so therefore they didn't have to pay tax, so therefore we don't have to give it back to them. Okay, so on the 26th then, we found that a sale on account to Keller Associate was incorrectly charged to Carson Properties. Okay, so it should be in Keller. We need to take it out of Carson. Okay, so we're going to put it into Keller. So we're going to debit Keller Associates for the amount $598, which will increase their account, and we're going to credit Carson Properties for the same amount, which will cancel out the incorrect journalizing and posting that went into theirs. And it is memorandum 62. Now the second part of this is to post the transactions. So you're going to go and you're going to post all of these to your general ledger and your accounts receivable subsidiary ledger.